We've lived in this house about 3 years now, and I've been trying to minimalize the whole time. I just decided it's high time that I give my 7-year-old son his own space that is more fun and functional. It had been pretty cluttered, and I really just wanted to do a full transformation. So what started as a decluttering project turned into a full-on design project. I hope you enjoy my first real interior decorating challenge. My husband poked his head in the other day and said, "It feels like a TV show." And I'm like, yes, move over HGTV DIY network. Here comes Aim for Creative Life TV. And yes, I do have a kid's band-aid on. It's from Pets 2 and it says easily distracted, which suits me. And my goal is to reduce overwhelm by decluttering and organizing to live more intentionally and creatively. So you can see by the spots on the wall that I had been planning to repaint. So my vision is a Batman-themed room, and that's why I hadn't really done much with his room in the way of furniture. I think sometimes we wait until we have the perfect circumstances. I hadn't really done anything with his room because I wanted to paint, like I said, but if a space isn't functioning for me now, I just decided I shouldn't wait until the paint is perfect to get the right furniture in here. Right now, we're having the problem with clutter. We're gonna tackle it now. The upstairs is very small. You can see the dormered ceilings, and there's really only room for maybe like 1 or 2 pieces of furniture and their beds in here. Her room was a quiet place to start chatting before I take you into the real disaster zone, because what we have in there is not working. Let me show you. Yes, I'd asked him to clean his room. Sometimes he does make his bed very well, but I asked him to clean his room, and what I got were all of those clean clothes in the laundry bin. So I'm sure I'm not the only mom who has that problem, but it really is a problem that he has these plastic stackers in his closet. Things don't fit. He doesn't wear half of it, so I'm going to have to declutter that. And this has his school uniform and some PJs and stuff, but it's really just not big enough. But what I think really needs to happen is that he needs a medium-sized dresser to put all of his clothes in, because I have the kids put their own clothes away. They're 7 and 5, and they're actually capable of folding their own clothes, so sometimes they will do that too. And I just think that more efficiently using this will help the space feel better, and then we won't have all this clothing on the floor. So today I'm going to load that up in my van, which is already loaded with things to take to the thrift store and donate. My parents are visiting, and one thing that I really enjoy doing with my family is thrifting. That's part of the reason I got into my clutter situation to begin with, is because it was really a fun thing rather than a functional thing. So I've set some rules for myself that I'm only allowed to go into a thrift store if I need something. It's on my list of things I need to buy anyway, and I think I can get a better deal there, or because I'm styling a friend and helping her find an outfit that looks really flattering on her. That's been working pretty well for me to not bring extra clutter into my home. So if you're struggling with clutter, definitely consider what's coming into your house, because you don't want to fight a losing battle. Those chairs are so gorgeous, aren't they? I just love antiques. I wish I could design somebody else's house, because my house is already full of stuff. I don't need anything else. But would you look at that? If I didn't have kids, I'd have more pieces like that in my house. Solid wood, 3 foot high, 4 feet wide. That's an interesting piece. It's not what I'm looking for though, so I should keep moving. Or should I? I'm really compelled to check it out. It's just really different. I started thinking how my son loves black, like ninjas and Batman, and it has a desk. My dad measured the van and it fit in there. So I bet you want to know, is this huge thing going to fit in this tiny room? And is it going to make the tiny room look even smaller? Well, actually, I think it's going to do the opposite, and you'll see. I called my husband really quickly to see what the dimensions were for the room. I needed to know how much room I had before that slant in the ceiling, and this piece was 4 foot wide by 4 foot tall, so it would technically fit. So now what I'm going to do is take this black Sharpie and fill in the little scrapes and stuff, so that it all looks seamless. He doesn't really care about it, but I do, so I'm going to try to make those blended. There's a lot of junk to sort through. That bin down there are my books. My husband's gonna have to help me get out and sort through them as well. This bin is full of future size of clothing and shoes that a friend gave us, and I'm going to sort through it now. Can add a winter hat to the homeless pile. Size 2, he might fit into these in a couple of years. So we'll just tuck these up into his closet shelf. I think I've got a black marker. I'm going to put the size on the outside. I'm not sure that these were ever even worn, so I feel really lucky that our neighbor gave them to us. And I think these are quite a bit bigger. Yeah, these are also new. Yeah, these are size 4.5, so. I'm also gonna donate these to the homeless ministry just because I don't know how long the pleather is gonna last, so I'd rather somebody get good use out of them now. So I'll put the size on these and add them to the donate bin. There is a top drawer that my son can't actually see in, and I'm going to put the future sizes. I think they'll all fit in that top drawer. It's the size 8. He could probably wear this next winter, and I'll put it up here. Okay, so this is a size 7. He's already a size 7 and I don't see him wearing this, so I'm gonna donate this. It's kind of the issue with bins and clothing is that if you don't go through it, you kind of lose track of what you have, and that's happened a lot. Okay, this is very large. It is a size 18-20. It's really nice. Because it's so big, I think I am going to donate it. I mean, it would keep, but my goal is not to have stuff stashed that I'm gonna forget about, and that won't fit in here. So I'm thankful for her generosity, and I'm really hoping this will bless somebody who really needs it. I don't see my son wearing this because of his sensory issues with necklines and stuff, so I think I'll donate that as well. This is a plain black one that is size 8. He might actually wear this now, so I'll go ahead and put that in his drawer. This will probably fit him next year. And this last bin is full of my books that I need to sort through and decide what I want and what I don't want. Put them in here because I just needed a place to stash some extra stuff when I was transitioning my craft room into my master bedroom. In this drawer he's got shorts and short sleeve button downs, SuperHero graphic tees, and this he has his winter pants and long sleeve shirts. And this one he's got his bedtime stuff and his skivvies. He's got his books and some magnetic toys, little things in there. He has his future sizes and seasons in here. And in here he has his school uniform pants, shirts, and ties. And I've been holding off to do the hardware for the window treatments until I have painted, so that's why this is just kind of makeshift. Well, I thought with this project I would just be happy getting things more orderly with this, but I can't stop thinking about how awesome it would look with yellow on the walls. Growing up, my family either rented or lived on base, so the walls stayed white, and now I'm making up for lost time. I'm even gonna paint the ceilings a light blue. So I'm just gonna go for it. I've gotta move all the furniture in, I've gotta tape around the trim, get the cobwebs down, make sure there's no dust on the fixtures, and get going. Okay, this is a tiny room, but it took forever, or at least it seemed like it took forever to tape around the edges. Trying to be extra careful around the edges. I think my son's going to have to sleep in the guest bed tonight, but I hope he's gonna think it's worth it. So I'm gonna keep going because tomorrow is not gonna be as warm of a day to keep an air vent going. Well, I ran out of painter's tape, so I'm just going to use some washi tape because I don't want to run out to this store. I'm a little concerned. It's like a ½ inch of clear stuff up there. I don't know. Please, please mix in all the way. I am pretty concerned about this paint at this point because it's supposed to be high hide, but there's like clear throughout it. I know. No! This is going horribly. Well, this said it had good hide ability, but it wasn't good enough, so I had to go back and use primer on the messy blue because I wasn't very careful when I put the blue on the ceiling. I just want to be done. Well, I tend to be overly optimistic when it comes to estimating the amount of time and effort a project is going to take. As you can see behind me, the wall isn't that dark compared to this white trim, so I figured that yellow paint would go over it no problem, 1 or 2 coats. Now, I've done 2 full coats, probably a little bit more with the amount of rolling I've done, and I still needed to go out to Lowe's and buy another gallon of yellow paint. But I'm still excited about this project, a little tired, and it's taken 2 days, not 1. This is where we're at now, and I'm excited about it. I think it looks so cool, so impactful, and really like comic booky, right? So I'm excited for him to have something really fun, even though maybe the paint would need to be changed by the time he's a teenager, depending on his interests, whatever. But I think it's gonna look so awesome with a superhero theme. I got some new sheets for his bed, and I've got some ideas for styling it. So I'm gonna whip up that last coat of yellow paint, and hopefully we'll just get it done. And you can see up here that it's getting there, but it definitely needs some better coverage. So I'm gonna get to it. I find this super satisfying, like watching dominoes fall. All right, I got my painting done. I'm really loving the big impact. So now I'm going to be doing the installment stage of this design, drilling, hanging, all that kind of stuff. Have you ever gotten these kind of shelves where they've got the keyhole mounting system on the back? I've always found them really hard to get level and with the right distance in between where you need to put the screws on the wall. And I personally don't want to have to re-drill holes and put multiple drywall anchors in until I get it right. I really want to get it right the first time. I used to stick crayons in there and try to mark the hole really awkwardly like that, and that system doesn't work. So I found a trick that works really well, and it's just to put painter's tape on the back and poking holes where you want the screws to go. That way when you peel it off, it's perfectly measured, you can put it where you want it and make sure that it is level. I've got mom's group tomorrow, so I won't really have a lot of time before I have to edit the video to get it up by Friday. So I'm gonna go hang the curtain rod now. I bought room darkening shades, and I got this Eclipse rod which wraps all the way around so that those room darkening shades will work. My son has been known to get up as early as 5 a.m. I really want him to stay in his room until at least 6:30 preferably. So this is what I'm gonna put up. So in my initial design, there wasn't blue on the ceiling, it was still white, so I had thought that I would do red curtains to go with like the Captain America picture that we have. Just with the blue and the yellow, I thought it was too many primary colors, too busy, and that would make your brain go wild. So I went with this silver blackout panel. I'm excited to hang it. It was cheaper to buy a double pack than individual panels. No matter what size they sold, I was going to have to hem it, so I went with the longer ones. Now it's time to style my little boxes. I made this when I was a kid in Developing Crafts, so I'm gonna put it in here and hopefully he'll like it. He made this with his grandpa. I'm excited about these that just came, and I've washed them and dried them, and now I'm going to get them out for his bed. Okay, I don't think that's going anywhere, and his little head's going to be safe. Now let's steal some cubbies that I'm not necessarily using. I really like these cubbies. I'll provide the link. They're just really sturdy. The fabric just feels really durable. It's more of a canvas material. And it's also got pockets on the sides, which is unusual if you ask me. These are called Storage Maniac ones, and they really weren't that expensive. In fact, I think it was the best deal I could find, but I did get like a 6-pack, so I'll provide the link in the description box below if you're interested. I also wanted a reading light by his bed because I know as a kid I liked reading and I didn't want to get out of bed to turn the light off and then rush back into bed a little bit scared. So I got him this kind, and because it's above his head and I don't want any accidents to happen, I got the kind that also has a clamp built in. So I'm not going to use this. I am going to keep this part under the bed in one of those crates in case he wants to use it when he gets older, but for now I'm going to use this handy clip part and secure it here. Besides the clamp, what I really like about this lamp is that you don't have to replace the bulb. There's not going to be any heat or bulbs breaking, so it's pretty kid safe. And it was half the price of all the other kind of lamps that I looked at. This was only $16 online. I'll provide the link below. So I did get an extension cord for this outlet for all of his appliances, but also has 3 USB ports. One thing I'm going to keep in here is this magnesium lotion. It just helps him sleep better when I rub it on his feet or his legs at night, and a lot of people will use this if they have restless leg syndrome, and I'll link that below too. It smells like vanilla cupcakes. It's really good. Now it's time to make his bed with his new sheets. I got this small plush throw that I'm going to put on. It wasn't very expensive at Walmart. I really enjoyed my reading pillow when I was a kid, so I got him one. And because I'm a nerdy plant lover who loves puns, I made a spiderweb spider plant hanger that I want to put here. I think that would be really cool, contrasting purple and green against the yellow and blue. And I had made it a lot longer, but I trimmed it down because I thought this is a boy's room, so I made it out of his reach, and I don't think anybody will hit their head on it here, so I'm going to put up the hardware to hang it. So the trends for this year definitely include a lot of greenery, and if you're interested in hanging a plant from your ceiling like I'm going to do, you will need a swag hook. It looks like this. It's pretty cheap at Walmart. You're going to need to drill a pilot hole with a drill bit that is a little bit narrower than those screws. So that's what I'm gonna do now, to see if it's wood up there or to see if I'm gonna need to get a bigger drill bit and get this clampy thing to go up there. This is about where I want it, so I'm going to drill my pilot hole. I have a fluffy queen-sized comforter that I'm not using, so I'm going to fold it in half and add some cush to this chair. As you can see here, I've got this amazing piece of blue velvet. Today I am cutting it in half to recover the tan chair in my son's room. I need to find a black Sharpie and put the Batman emblem on this knob before I forget. Now it's time to style the bureau. When I come into the room, I really do feel like there's more space in here than there was before, and I think a lot of that has to do with the dark paint on the ceiling, which you would think would close it in, but actually I think adds height. And the interesting design lines draw your eyes up. Over in here we have his superhero closet, and he can decide what he wants to dress up in to play. I think he's gonna be thrilled. This hero's quilt his grandmother made for him. And last but not least, down here are his own slippers that he made himself with some felt and a furry chamois thing from the Dollar Tree. I taught him how to do a blanket stitch, and he was 5 years old at the time, I thought he did pretty well. And the feature that definitely makes this the best buy for a tiny room is the pull-down desk. I drilled a hole back there for this little lamp so that he could have lighting right on his homework. I'm just gonna leave it on for the grand reveal. Alright, are you ready to see what my little superhero thinks of his room? I can't wait to see his reaction. Alright, come on in.
Just a second. Wow, how did you get the Batman blanket?
Yeah.
I didn't know you got that.
Look beside the wall. Put your hand in back behind the wall, hon. Pull it out.
Oh, I think I know.
Here, like this. See?
It's one of those special chairs. Oh, so that's what I'm going to sit on for my homework? Oh.
Yeah. What do you think? Thumbs up?
I like it.
Good. Now I'm going to show you how to close this. It's kind of complicated. What do you think? You like it? Is it squishy? Great.
I like it.
Oh, good.
Hey, you found Razor Teddy Bear! Yay!
Yeah. Okay, hey, look in the closet. That is your superhero closet. Go ahead and look.
Oh!
That's a reading pillow in case you want to lean up against here to read. Do you see your Spidey plant in a Spidey web? You like that? Okay, you can close your curtain now since it's dark. So what's your favorite part?
Basically, the stool and the little light and my homework thingy and the cushion for reading, basically everything.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so over here, up bright or down bright, you can change it to blue light or yellow light.
Sort of also like a night light.
Oh, is that so cool? I'm glad you're happy. I love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Since I was able to use so much of what we already had, including this dorm room chair and these nesting cubbies, the cubby as the bedboard, and I was able to customize the length of the curtain myself and do my own painting, I saved not only on decor but also on labor costs. While I wanted to spend around $50 for a dresser, I found something even better that doubled as a desk, so I thought it was definitely worth the $150 at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. What I did buy new, including the Catman poster and the Cat in America poster and sheet set, and those lamps that I got from Amazon. I'll provide the links below. So I think this whole thing came in around $250 for my son's first ever whole room design. As a really frugal person, $250 sounds like a whole lot to spend on a kid's room. But when I consider that a new IKEA hymness dresser in the style and dimensions that I want would cost about $250, I really feel like what I got was a steal and that this whole room was worth it. My husband even said it was worth it, and when he was doing his reading homework tonight, my son remarked that he felt like the room got bigger. So that was the whole goal. I'm pleased and feel like I succeeded. And I think it was definitely worth it. It was 3 years in coming, and his reaction was priceless. I'm so happy I did this, and I'm really looking forward to doing my daughter's. Well, maybe not the painting part. That wasn't so fun. But I'm looking forward to being creative with design again. Well, I sure hope you love this video and my tiny room design. And please do me a big favor of clicking like on this video. It helps my channel to grow. Also commenting to tell me what you did like or maybe what you would have done differently. If you want to watch more videos like this, I will be doing another design for my daughter's room this summer. And I've got a lot more videos coming out about intentional creative living. So make sure to hit that notification bell. Well, I gotta fly.